Hi, welcome to Ragnar's Next Battle Report. In this one I'm playing 3,000 points of Orcs versus 1,500 points of my son's Dwarves and 1,500 points of my wife's Elves. My son is 8 and just getting into the hobby and starting to paint some of his own models. My wife is a much better painter than I and generally enjoys the modeling part more than the hobby part, but does enjoy a game occasionally as well. Here is our battle lines. Large Orc and Goblin army. The only real difference than normal setup is we allowed both the Dwarves and the Elves to take a Lord so that they're 1,500 points each. We'd each have a Lord. The Dwarf is the overall general, whereas I have 2 Lords as the Orcs, and I'll go through those in a moment. Okay, so here are the Elven Dragon Princes with the Elven combat-based Lord. The Dwarf Rangers. He upgraded Dwarf Clansmen to Rangers. They have great axes. To their left is the unit of High Elven Spearmen. My wife has a large number of painted High Elven Spearmen and likes fielding that unit. Here in the center, they have their hill that has the Dwarven cannon on the right, the 2 Elven bolt throwers in the middle, and the Dwarven bolt thrower on the left. In front of it are the Dwarven Thunderers and the High Elf Crossbowmen. The High Elven Mage that she took is there in the middle of the hill overlooking everything. To the left of the missile units is the 2nd unit of Dwarf Infantry. This is Longbeards, and he has a Rune Lord with them, I believe. The far left has that's another picture of the Dwarves, and Phoenix Guard is the Elven unit. Okay, this is from their perspective, far right, so this is directly across from that last picture I showed you. I have a Doom Diver, an Orc Chariot, Fast Cav, and those are Wolves. Behind them is a unit of Night Goblins. And another chariot. Behind that is Orc Arrow Boys. And then some more Wolf Riders. And another unit of Night Goblin Archers. Both these Night Goblin Archers units have a Fanatic. Because we were trying to do mostly WYSIWYG, the Fast Cab unit to the left, where the models have the full command, I gave the Fast Cab the full command. Yes, I know, not the most efficient choice. My hill has the 2 Goblin bolt throwers, and then here we have 2 units of Night Goblins. These units are 25 deep, have netters, full command, 3 Fanatics each. Behind it is the unit of Black Orcs, and to its left a unit of Orc Boys. I made these big uns. They have the 2 Chappas, and there's a battle standard in there who has the banner that will let them charge an extra d6. You see the edge of some Spider Riders there. Here is the 2 units of Spider Riders. Again, I have 1 unit that has the full command that the models actually have. My Giant. There's a unit of 3 Trolls with the Orc Shaman Lord. It's my only caster. And behind it is a unit of Boar Boys with the Orc Warlord. So both of my Lord level characters are here on the far right. My thoughts here are that animosity is just going to happen, and the battlefield is crowded enough. I'm going to have stuff jam up. But I have a lot more units than they do. They have a lot of very expensive units. I have a whole bunch of Fanatics that are going to come out. I've got a Giant. I've got some Bolt Throwers. There's some good Orky magic. I've got some Chariots. Basically, I expect that the first units I bring into contact are probably, for the most part, going to get butchered. So Goblins go up front, release Fanatics, do some dying, hopefully do a little killing, then the bigger units hopefully finish up. I put the big Orc units over on the far right, even though that takes the leadership out of the general center of the Orcs, because I was expecting, since my wife tends to play aggressively, that they would push forward and I would be able to kind of catch them in that open area where they either had to face forward for my Night Goblins and Fanatics or face through this gap between the two woods. If they hung back, I would just try to send faster units around their set of woods into their back, and I would come through that gap of the woods as well as coming up the middle. And they don't have that many combat units, so they'll have to get out there and defend. Okay, we're definitely needing to get a new camera, but the blur in the lower right is the trolls and shaman who pushed forward. One of the two Spider Rider units squabbled, so it's still hanging back. The giant is still trying to hide from all that artillery. I know I'm going to have to expose it for at least a turn, but I didn't want to yet because it couldn't really get far enough out. Night Goblin units move forward. The Orcs with the battle standard moved forward, and I misjudged the room that I had. I thought I'd also be able to squeeze the Black Orcs up, but just wasn't able to do so. On the other side of the battle, this is shot from the other side. You can see I ran some of my fast cav way up front. Unfortunately, the other unit of fast cav, the other unit of wolf riders also squabbled, which blocked up the Night Goblins behind them. So chariots move forward. Basically, I'm slowly starting to move forward here. Turn one, I guess my Doom Diver pretty much can only see the things on the hill, so I'm shooting up at the hill, but I'm shooting over here on the right, hoping that I might get a lucky scatter. I end up coming up just a little bit short, scatter off, but then I'm able to redirect back in and down go 3 of the Thunderers. The Dwarf and Elf turn 1, I'm not showing you their movement because there wasn't any, which surprised me a great deal. They being my wife who's doing most of the strategy and teaching my son, I usually play fairly aggressive, and this time I think they really realized that if they get out there in the middle of that area, they are just going to get pummeled. So they stood back. We taught my son how to range guess, or started teaching him. What the blurry picture is trying to show you is that he range guessed very well. His cannon shot went through, and because my Orcs were on top of each other because I didn't have room to get out, it went through 4 Orcs from the front unit and 4 Black Orcs and killed them all. Additional shooting significantly whittled down the Orc unit. I think I ended up losing 8 Orcs off that unit, and the Thunderers and other shooting killed off some of the Goblins on one of the Goblin units. So it was quite a few taken out there. Magic I was able to shut down. Very little magic got through the whole game. I'll mention when something interesting happened in the magic phase, but for the most part, neither of us were heavy magic, so there just wasn't much.